business renewal, carrying a business renewal license from Kim Wayman's Secretary Steve Hobbs, Mr. Teresa Brigston for Department License Department, and also Mr. Marcus J. Glasper, Department License Department, carrying the executive order. Now, the executive order carries the executive order of the COVID authorized by the executive president by Donald J. Trump, carrying that email confirmation signature verification. Now, Donald J. Trump carries the executive order downloading from the submitted information from a law firm. Herein, of course, they would say policy, regulation, service with the authorization and personal FedEx UPS confirmation signature, and also the confirmation presidential primary election, and also that service. Mr. Norman J. Mann is carrying that authorization personal executive order, carried out, of course, the monopolizing, bringing the presidential primary election, and Norman J. Madison is servicing Department of Defense, and all Mr. Lloyd Austin himself, Department of Defense, the Pentagon, and also the U.S. policy of the United States of Constitution, providing the rights of pleading not guilty, Mr. Donald J. Trump. His executive order carried out to the executive order of John Luke McKinnon's office, carrying that policy, regulation, and authorization. How they break through a window, breaking the window and the policy, regulation, authorizing the executive order, making much of the tribute of a download, submitting information, confirmation, FedEx confirmation signature, and breaking windows out and bringing in a monopolizing service and bringing the corruption to an executive order, and much of the testimony and the service in the parking lot, and also the raised services of trimming the Constitution down, trimming some fat off. Now, that executive order has been authorized by President Donald J. Trump, 47th President of the United States of America, bringing a executive order, and also the Norman J. Maness. See, the damage is done to the portrait. There's much damage to the society itself because we got a business license attachment to it. John Luke McKinnon's office, Mr. Andy Miller, Mr. Samram5INC, Amir Singh Nahar, some 1400 East Main Street, Othello, Washington. This is the 45th, 47th President of the United States of America. It's 45th and 47th President of the United States of America with the President's seal on it. Presidential primary election and executive order authorizing executive order the 45th former President of the United States of America, now the 47th President of the United States of America, and bringing that direct EFT transaction deposit, manuscript of policy, regulation, and services, administration office, and carrying that authorization, personal income sent from an oil company, and Andy Miller's office, Washington State Prosecutor's office, the Commissioner's building, election building, and also the federal courthouse at 825 Jadwick. Mr. Eric I. Singer, Norman Rodriguez, and Ryan Lutzen, Mayor of City Hall. Mr. Eric Olson, Mayor of Kennewick City Hall, and also the Chief of Police at the Police Department in Kennewick Police Department. Mr. Olson gets his services because Olson Properties in Othello, Washington, Olson Properties in Kennewick, Washington, and Olson Properties in Samron5INC, carrying that tribute of how they broke that window out and glorifying and downloading, submitting the COVID Executive Order 45th President, and pretty much the 45th President of the United States in services and policy regulations and lock and key and vault, direct transaction and services. And bring much of the tribute of service of policy regulation, Mr. Donald Trump. Now, pleading not guilty for his charges and also bringing testimony and services to a McKinnon law firm, bringing sanctions and services and policy regulations and service with the download from the Washington Bar Association 13294, and that's Sarah McClint, and also she's a sailor ministry support assistant at the Bob Ferguson's office, Attorney General's office, the Washington Bar Association. Now that Social Security office downloading that information, the EFT transaction for Social Security office to Benton County, Grant County, and the commissioners, 3 judges, and also the policy regulations service at the Freda Courthouse, and Mr. Mike Celtic, Brooks Athletic Club, and George Washington, number 42 George Washington House. Now download that submitted pictures, snapshots, and birth, and integrated service, and 45th president, and executive order 47th president of the United States of America, and the business license renewal. This is Marcus J. Glasper, Governor Jay Inslee, and also don't forget the policy regulation, Kim Wayman, Secretary Steve Obbs, SOS-WAGUP. It's online. McKenna Law Firm, 509-765-4451, fax 509-765-6019. Now Lloyd Austin, he took his policy regulation to his testimony. Mr. Donald J. Trump, 45th and 47th President of the United States of America, carrying that service testimony. And we got Mr. Lloyd Austin here at 704 East Alamos Lake, Washington. Business license renewal. We did this at the Exxon Mobil. We did this at the ConocoPhillips on Stratford Road. Put it on Sway, download and submit information. And submitting this information with accurate to the T policy regulation and services. Mr. Lloyd Austin and policy regulation of the United States Department of Defense, the Pentagon, Mr. Mark Miley and Mr. Norman J. Mattis and Mr. Lloyd Austin and Mr. Brown, the General of the United States Air Force, taking their service in the Pentagon Arrangement Service and Increment Society at the Army base at International Airport, Moses Lake. And Moses Lake sign, the International Air Force Base, the International Airport, Moses Lake, Washington, also the United States Army base of Washington State. And also the download submitting in the DeWalt, and also the YouTube services, the Brigadier Stratton blower and lawnmower, and also the DeWalt, most powerful DeWalt drill, and also the most powerful chainsaw and blower, steel chainsaw BR 200. The Barela 200, the most powerful chainsaw on the planet. Now, bringing that service and policy of Mr. Lloyd Austin, being testimony at 509-765-4451, fax 509-765-6019, the Pentagon Arraignment and Services. As you can reflect, the testimony and service of the accurate information, the fax confirmation, signature FedEx UPS with signature confirmation for a direct EFT transaction from a Social Security office in Kennewick, Washington, array of service of Benton County Justice Department, service policy regulation, direct deposit EFT transaction, and array of service and policy of Lloyd Austin, policy here at Basin Herald and Tri-City Herald. Now the Tri-City Herald had Mr. John F. Kennedy. The Tri-City Herald took part in the John F. Kennedy assassination plot like they did on July 13th of 2024 of Donald Trump's assassination. Tri-City Herald and Basin Herald and the race. We have Basin Herald here, and then we went to Basin Herald live. Went to Tri-City Herald live. We went to Mule's Funeral Home live, 1401 South Union, and Greenlee Memorial on Court Street. And the aviation jet engine that was replaced was business license and business permits that authorized for a jet propelled stand and a propelled rocket stabilizer and policy regulations of all these permits and business license for Larson Air Force Base here in Moses Lake, Washington. Now Lloyd Austin got some video, URL, confirmation, verification, 45th, 47th, and also the testimony and service and policy regulation in the service of the United States Army, and the Pentagon arraignment and service and policy regulation in the service of 519-765-4451, fax 519-765-6019. Mr. John Luke McKenna, Carla McKenna, and Virginia McKenna at 519-765-4451, fax 519-765-619. And the phone was familiarities of Donald Trump, the entire family members and policy, Ivanka, Tiffany, Donald Trump, Melania, Eric Trump, Donald Trump Jr., and of course Ivanka's biological mother, Ivana Trump, and Mariana Trump Berry, Donald Trump's sister. So the Supreme Justice Department and also the federal judge advocacy model of hiring 3 judges and bringing testimony of service of pleading not guilty, making testimony services available. McKenna Law Firm and the policy regulation services the McKenna Law Firm. And McKenna Law Firm is to raise service of direct deposit transaction of family memorabilia and policy regulation of Donald J. Trump and his policy regulation of the direct EFT transaction deposits. Bringing Ivanka Trump to the Social Security office in Tri-Cities, Grand Ridge, Cincinnati, and the Natural Cascade Company, and taking her to the federal courthouse at 825 Jadwin with Mr. Ryan Ludskin, Norma Rodriguez, Eric I. Singer, and of course Annie Miller and Mr. Dano Garth and Mr. John Luke McKenna, Virginia McKenna, and also Virginia and Carla McKenna, and also Dana Garrett at the Social Security office at the Washington Bar Association Attorney General office, which is Bob Ferguson's office, and Sarah McClint and Teresa R. Saylor.